All right. All right, man, exciting night for you guys tonight. It's the end of the day, but it's not the end of the world, so everybody needs to get woke up, get excited, because we got an amazing night for y'all. All right. So we are doing 180 days through the Bible, and it's so exciting to see so many women and men coming together and learning to read as a family and share and grow. And it's been great going through this series with the church, but you know what, man? I'm excited to start moving forward because you guys are reading faster than I can preach, and that's beautiful. But what's more important is you guys are starting to share, and that's awesome. So we got an amazing night set for you guys tonight. Tonight, we're going to do something really cool. I'm going to introduce y'all to my wife, Tina Wilson. That's right. You see her all the time. She is hosting the Ekklesia live online. She does the pre and the post show. She's beautiful. She's wonderful. She hates it when I do that, but I'm her husband and I'm getting by with it. So here's the thing. Tonight, she's going to be sharing with us about the Homeschool Hub and how every parent in our community that's having to learn how to homeschool their kids can be benefited by Ekklesia Christian Church, and that's amazing. All right. Also with that, tonight, I want to share some news to lead into what our game for the night's going to be. See, there is some really scary, sad news that came out today, and it really bothers me because sometimes you grow up with something, and it's really precious to you, and it's sentimental, and it's something you grew up saying and doing, and I heard this news today, and it's really sad. KFC announced today that they will no longer be using the phrase finger licking good. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm wondering about my kids as they grow up, man. I mean, what are they going to do with KFC? I mean, is it lipping good? What's the deal with it? I guess because of coronavirus, people are scared that they're going to contaminate themselves by sucking on their own fingers. But it's probably a good thing because I heard that KFC had got some serious problems because as people was leaving KFC, they'd be walking, they'd get caught like that. Some stranger just came up and was licking on their fingers, man. They couldn't do anything about it. That was cheesy. You don't have to laugh at that. Just hit a heart icon. All right. So as we go through tonight, man, I can't wait to bring you a condensed introduction to this Sunday's sermon. And just like every week, we're here ready to worship. So let's kick it off with the Ekklesia Online Band.
The melody, you surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies till all my fears are gone. I'm no longer safe to fear, 'cause I am a child of God, and I'm no longer safe to fear, 'cause I am a child of God, and I'm no longer safe to fear, 'cause I am a child of God, and I know I am a child of God.
All right. So many of you guys know my lovely wife, Tina, and you see her online every week hosting Ekklesia's online services. But what you don't know is how much she does for the community every single day, how much she does for families, especially right now while families are in need. Tina, welcome to the Ekklesia Live Thursday night service. Such an honor to have you. Well, you're welcome. Okay, so we're really not normally this far away from each other and stiff as we talk to each other. But Tina told me I'm not allowed to call her sexy, beautiful, hot, or anything like that. So I just want to make sure y'all know that I don't dislike my wife. I just want to make sure that I do not call her anything that could make her feel awkward, in front of a camera, okay? So in no way tonight will I suggest that you are the most beautiful woman that I've ever seen in my life, and I'm still just as attracted, probably more attracted to you now than ever before. So that will not happen. Just making sure that we're straight with that and we're clear and we're going forward. I'm not going to even tell people that she looks good for having 7 kids and putting up with me for nearly 20 years now, y'all. I'm just saying, I'm not going to go there. We're going to talk straight business about what's happening in the kingdom right now. Is that cool with you? Can we do that?
I would appreciate that.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Just making sure that we meet all your demands, because it's not easy to book a celebrity like her here live.
Okay.
I just got in trouble. I found that was the limit right there. That was the barrier. Okay, so Tina, really right now, one of the things that so many people are asking about, and it's taking off like fire, is the Homeschool Hub.
Yes.
All right, so could you just tell us a little bit about it and how it helps families here in our community?
Absolutely. So there are 2 ways that Ekklesia is serving homeschoolers in this area in this season. So for years, we have served them through offering support in the form of a homeschool co-op. That looks like kids who are homeschooled coming together here in our facility. And even before we had this facility, we did it elsewhere.
Yeah.
But they come together, they take classes. It's called a co-op because all the parents cooperate to make it happen. So parents who have specialties in particular areas, they teach classes in those spaces. We all contribute in some way, and because we do that, we're able to offer this at almost no cost to the community. So that's a way that Ekklesia has served homeschoolers for a few years now through offering this co-op. But we are really amping it up this year to do more, and we are now offering accountability as well. So if a family wants to homeschool in South Carolina, they do need legal coverage through what's called a Third Option Accountability Association. And this year, Ekklesia is able to offer that. It's called the Homeschool Hub. So not only can homeschoolers come here for that kind of support, but we can also give them the legal coverage they need, their accountability to the state when they register with us.
All right, Ekklesia is getting protection all up in it. And you know, one of the things, a lot of parents say, I don't think I can homeschool. I don't believe that I have the ability. I'm nervous. I'm scared. What if I fail? And I have people all the time that are telling me, I wish I could. And right now, this hub helps people. How do we help parents? I mean, I know we're accountability. We're coming together. But for a parent that's saying, I'm just nervous and I'm scared and I don't think I can do it, how can the hub come alongside a parent like that?
Well, the hub is a community. So for every question that a parent has who's coming into this new, there is someone here with the answer. Ekklesia is made up of so many families who have been homeschooling for so many years. We have 7 kids homeschooled from the very beginning, and our oldest is a senior, so we walked through many seasons of this. There are many other moms in that same position in this congregation. And so we offer a community of support. Any mom who is unsure what they're doing, they can find someone to connect with here who can walk them through it. It's that discipleship path you always talk about, just staying one step ahead and helping the person who's coming on the journey.
Now, I was homeschooled, and a lot of people don't know that. It's a wonderful thing for me. That's why I act the way I do. But I was homeschooled. I never could do math well in school. But I was able to work with my dad on projects, and one of the ways I learned fractions was by doing carpentry work. And for me, that became a lifeline for me. I don't think I could have learned just out of a textbook or off of well, I mean, they were chalkboards back then, but the dry erase boards and stuff. For me, I needed hands-on experience. And there's just something about being able to teach your own kids. You may not have a degree in it, but many dads can get involved and do amazing things by being able to take their skills and turn those into teaching moments.
Well, that's the awesome thing about homeschool is it creates the space for that. It creates the space for parents to tie lessons to real life experiences with their kids that bring them to life. And then in the space where maybe there are concepts that parents struggle with and they don't know how to communicate or teach to their kids, there are so many good resources for that. There's so many curriculum options that can fill that gap. And again, any parents with questions about that are free to call us because we have a ton of answers for those kind of things.
That's awesome. Now, I want to ask this question because I know that people in Horry County are thinking, okay, I've got a place to go, but is it only Horry County that we can help, or does our reach with this accountability go further?
It definitely goes further. So any homeschooler in the entire state of South Carolina can register with the Homeschool Hub for that legal accountability coverage.
Oh,
and anyone who is within driving distance, we welcome them to come to our community and our co-op as well.
So just like Ekklesia, you can get us online about anywhere but the best experience is when you show up right here in
That's
the building,
it.
right? All right, so how does somebody get started?
All right, anyone who would like to join can go to Homeschool Hub SC, like South Carolina, homeschoolhubsc.com. They can register there for accountability, or they can just get our contact information from there, our email, and they can email us and say, hey, I would like to join your co-op, and we can send them all that information. We're not going to say it out loud right now because it's actually filling up pretty quickly, and we've known for a while we needed more space. Hopefully we can find that, but right now we are going to tell people if they would like to be a part of that co-op, hit our website, grab our email, and contact us personally, and we'll see how it fills up.
And that's a brand new, easy-to-use website.
Yes.
It's really simplified it. You don't have to be a tech person. You can just go through. It actually walks you through everything, correct?
That's right. It's just an easy step-by-step
All right.
process.
Now, for families out there, maybe they're not going to homeschool. Maybe they don't have kids. Maybe they've got someone else that's thinking about homeschooling. How can they help share this with people that would be interested?
Definitely just connect them with us. They can send us a message on Facebook to the Ekklesia Christian Church page. They can email hub, H-U-B, at ekklesiachristianchurch.com, and we would be happy to connect with them and help them in their homeschool journey also.
So awesome. Thank you so much for being a part of sharing this with me. Guys, I'm so excited about what this means for our community. In times of crisis, the church has to step up. And right now it's no different. I'm so proud of all the Ekklesians that are out there. They're making things like this happen because Christ and his church are being famous in some of the darkest times. I love it. Let's make Christ and his church famous. Tina, I love you. You are beautiful. You are wonderful. You are my baby, okay? Can't wait to do this again soon if she ever will. We'll be right back after this brief message from our sponsors. All right, we're back. And you may have noticed that the music's a little different tonight. Maybe it sounds like you're on hold calling the Harley-Davidson dealership. That's because we have the one and only Brandon Wilson on the drums tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. And that brings us to our game for tonight. Here we are, two contestants come from far and wide, ready to compete. Let's talk to our first contestant. Tell me what your name is.
Hi, I'm George.
Now, many of y'all may know George when we did Fake It or Make It karaoke. He was the mulleted bandit that was doing the strut across the stage. George, we love you. Thank you so much for that. I'm still not forgiving you for killing and destroying every rose has its thorn. That was cut deep to my heart, okay? And here joining us, tell us your name.
Mike.
Miguel. Okay, Miguel is a former pastor who still does ministry and keeps the kingdom growing. Also, he's an amazing individual that says that nothing is too hot for him, which means tonight's challenge is called Finger Licking Good. All right, now, both of you have been out of town and have not been able to do the 180-day reading challenge. We offer it online. You should have joined on because that's where all of these questions are coming from. If you had been reading along, you would be better equipped. But because you're not, so sorry, so sad, because if you get the question wrong, you got to eat a wicked hot chicken wing provided not from KFC, but Buffalo Wild Wings. Thank you very much. Okay. Are you ready for the first question?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Exodus 2:22. What did Moses and his wife Zipporah name their first son?
I'm going to go with, that's Moses' brother.
This is a tough one.
This is a tough one.
There's not a time limit
Let's
on
go
it.
with,
It's just until I get bored.
Let's go with Steve.
Steve. Steve is the wrong answer. Go ahead, eat one of those spicy chicken wings. Remember, you got to lick your fingers afterwards because they're finger licking good.
Everybody knows it was Leon.
All right, come on with it. Don't eat it like a pansy. Eat it like a man. Come on, Esau. Let's do this.
It's so hot.
Take it down. Take it down. Just put the whole thing in and take all the meat off. Here we go.
Need some ranch dressing.
No ranch dressing provided.
Oh, Lord.
I'll keep it going. He's getting holy now. He's crying out to God in heaven. Don't wipe your eyes. Now, for the final part, finger licking good means you're going to lick your fingers. All right.
So delicious.
Is that good?
It's so gross.
It's so good. All right. We're going to be moving on. Would you like to answer that question or go to the next question?
Next question.
Next question, of course. Exodus 3, verse 1. Who was Moses' father-in-law?
I know it wasn't Leon.
It wasn't Leon.
Abdul.
Abdul? No, the answer is Jethro. It's your turn. Go ahead. Eat it quickly. Take it as fast as you can. Here we go. Finger licking good. Turbo hot chicken wings. Come on. Down the pipe. Here we go.
I'm sweating.
He's not hurting at all.
That's only one.
He's enjoying it. It's like a delicacy for him right now.
I bet so.
This is like watching someone on the show Alone eat fish eyes right now. He's just dissecting it with his teeth and bringing it down. No tears. Glasses aren't fogging. Okay, last part. Lick the fingers. Here we go. Back to you, George. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. When was the Passover lamb to be slaughtered?
What are you looking for? You looking for?
I'm going to give you multiple choice on this
Okay.
one. At twilight, in the afternoon, when Bob Evans arrived in town, or before bedtime?
I'm gonna go with. You said before twilight.
At twilight,
At
in
twilight.
the afternoon, when Bob Evans
the
arrived in
afternoon,
town, or
Bob
before
Evans.
bedtime?
I'm gonna go at twilight.
At twilight is correct. Your fingers are safe. No licking needed. Okay, coming back to you. Miguel, are you ready? Exodus 12:15. What was the penalty for eating leaven? Being cut off from Israel, having your hand slapped, you wouldn't receive a new supply. It would poison your body.
Poison.
Poison
Like
is
this.
correct. It's correct. Here we go. All right. Exodus 12:31. After the death of the firstborn sons and cattle, what did Pharaoh tell Aaron and Moses?
What did he tell Pharaoh? What did Pharaoh tell
What did Pharaoh tell Aaron and Moses? You want multiple choice?
Yeah, hit me, tube sock.
This is Hotel California. You
Okay.
can never leave.
Right?
Go back to work, leave, or go back to Goshen where you came from.
Go back to Goshen where you came from.
Wrong. He told him to leave. Remember, he hardened his heart later? Sorry,
Technically,
man.
it's the same thing, 'cause
Sorry, here
if
we
he-
go.
if
All
he
right.
left, he would have to go
Stop-
back to-
Stop stalling, eat a chicken wing. Here we go. Down the hatch. Do it. Come on, Army man. Show us what you got. All right. For those of y'all who don't know, George was in the Marines and is in the National Guard to this day. George, come on.
It's so hot.
Show us how a Marine eats a chicken wing.
He doesn't.
Show us how you are representing the United States of America, son. Get that chicken wing down like it's in war. You are in war with this chicken wing. Come on, son. Let's do it. All right. Last part, finger licking good. Okay, here we go. Where did Moses lead the Israelites after crossing the Red Sea? The desert of Sin, desert of Paran, desert of Shamu, or the desert of Shur?
Paran.
Incorrect. It was the desert of Shur. Let's eat that chicken wing. All right, here we go.
I hate you, Dylan.
You're going at it. You bring it up. There we go. There we go. Get it in the mustache. Let that mustache be a flavor saver. You're going to be tasting this one for days. Come on. There we go. Almost there. Picking it clean. He's not even wincing. Like, George, what do you think about how effortlessly he's putting these wings down?
He is awesome.
Anything to say to you? You got it all over your face.
I need a napkin.
He needs a There's no napkins. It's finger licking good. Okay, where did the Israelites go after leaving Marah? Are you ready?
Oh.
Motown, Raphadim, Pithom, or Elam? Elam. Ready?
Let me get him again. Let me get the list again.
Motown, Rephadim, Pithom, or Elam?
Let's go with Pithom.
Not Pithom, it was Elam. Okay, this time you have to eat 2 chicken wings at the same time. 2 chicken wings at the same time, and you have to do it in under 6 seconds. Are you ready,
That's
George?
impossible.
It's not impossible. You can do all
impossible.
things, George. I need you to be ready. Are you ready?
My face hurts. My whole face hurts.
Your face hurt before you start eating the chicken wing. Here we go. Get it. Come on. Get it. Drop it. Give me 20, George. Eat that chicken.
I'd rather do
Dig
that.
Dig into it, George. Here we go. Oh,
So
he's
hot.
going to town. Why are you stretching
I'm not
the
eating
skin?
that.
You gotta
Okay.
eat.
It's so hot.
You gotta eat the skin.
It can't touch my lips.
All right, time's
As
up.
long as it
Time's up.
doesn't touch my lips.
All right, time's up. You're just hurting yourself now. Would you like a drink? Would you
Yeah.
like something to drink?
Yes, please.
I'm sorry, that's not a part of the game. I just wanted to know. Okay.
I found a new rocket fuel for NASA.
All right, here we go. Miguel, what desert lies between Elam and Sinai? The desert of Sin, the desert of And, the desert of Shur, or the desert of Paran?
Desert of Shur.
Desert of Shur. Sure, that's not the right answer. The answer is desert of Sin. Here we go. As quick as you can. Next wing goes down, starting now.
Oh, Lord, help me, Jesus.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to take a moment right now to say, those of y'all who are at home watching this, that have been reading along with the 180 days through the Bible, through the Word, you're starting to see right now how blessed you are. Because these guys are not just going to feel this now, but in about 24 hours, they're going to feel it again. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? This one goes to both of you, and it's all on you.
Make it stop.
Okay, make it stop. Are you ready? Do you secede?
No,
you quit?
I'm not gonna quit.
You're not gonna
No,
quit?
I'm not
You
gonna
don't-
quit.
You don't want to give up?
I'm not gonna give
Your
up.
fingers are awful spicy.
I can't.
All right, here we
I will
go.
not give up. I'll get
All right.
one of these.
When in the desert, first one to answer gets it. You just got to speak it out first. When in the desert, what did the Israelites complain to Moses and Aaron about? Here's your options. You ready? You got it?
No,
All right.
a whole bunch of things.
It was too hot. They were tired. Continual power outages, or no meat to eat.
No meat to eat.
No meat to eat is correct. Miguel, that's it. You get to finish off the chicken wings. That's it for tonight. You did it. Finger licking good. His eyes are closed. He can't see me. I'm just going to rub his head for support. Here we go. Guys, let's hear it one more time for George and Miguel, the finger licking good team. Band, play us out.
Hello, online family. It's time for communion. I'll never forget growing up and hearing that said. It's time for communion. And for me and Matt and many of us that grew up in a different generation, you know, if you say that, it means it's time to get serious. It's time to settle your thoughts. It's time to quiet your mind. And it's time to think about things that are holy and things that are life-changing. And it's time to give thanks. It's time to proclaim. And so, as we sit at home or in our offices right now, separate, we're still together. And we're still united through the blood and the bond of Christ. There was a young man here today that was having a conversation with me. And I introduced a young lady to him, and I said, "This is my little sister." He said, "She's your sister?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "But you're my brother." And he said, "No, that's not possible." And I said, "Don't you remember being baptized last week?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Who's your father?" He said, "God." I said, "So is mine." So we're brothers. And I saw this little young man filled with so much joy. I saw his eyes brighten up and he smiled, and it was probably 3 or 4 more times he chased me down in the building to introduce people to his big brother. And I think the unification in that, for me and you as Christians, as we come together and unite under the blood of Christ, under our Father in heaven, as brothers and sisters. Another important aspect for communion to me is the fact that we are not alone. Me and you are not alone in this world. We have each other. And we are not alone in the scope of eternity. We have an amazing Father, and we have a big brother, Jesus, who laid down his life for us. And in this moment, I ask that you proclaim that with me for the world to see and for the world to know, for the world to hear that this is our Jesus. And we are remembering him in this time together, and we are loving him for the whole world to see. So if you guys will pray with me at this time. Father, thank you so much for your amazing Son, Jesus. Thank you so much, Father, for your love for us, for accepting us as your children. We are so honored to have you as a Father, to have you in our lives, and to have you as our guide. We hope to make you proud. Lord, in this moment, we proclaim Jesus' name. We celebrate the victory of his resurrection. In his name we pray. Amen.
So right now we are continuing in studying the God of the Old Testament, who is the God of the New Testament, and seeing how God deals with his people. And instead of seeing the Old Testament Zeus, we're seeing the Father of the New Testament. We're seeing that God's always been compassionate, and he doesn't just make judgments, and he doesn't just have decrees. He talks to his people, and he asks questions to understand what they're going through. We just played a game called Finger Licking, and I love the question that we're going to study this Sunday, where God said, who gave you human beings your mouths? Who gave humans their mouths? And tonight, when I were on break, I ate one of those turbo hot chicken wings, and I'm going to tell you right now, I thank God for my mouth, but that burning sensation that comes from that chicken wing is something that just, it was not intended by God to happen. And I thank God for my mouth, especially as it cools down. But I think a lot of us, we misuse our mouth, and we use our mouths for bad instead of good. And God intended for us to be bold with good, not bold with what's negative. And I want you to see how God reacts. Now, a little history. The Israelites have been in Egypt. Joseph had taken them there. They found a land in Goshen. Everything was good. But they did not continue on the path God had called them on. And as God called them to the land of Canaan, the land flowing with milk and honey, he had a promised land for them. But they got comfortable living the good life in Egypt. There's a quote that is often attributed to Alexander Fraser Tytler, and it's not really known if it was him or someone else, but I want to share this quote with you as we look at the hundreds of years that they were in Egypt. He says, a democracy cannot exist as a permanent form of government. It can only exist until the voters discover that they can vote themselves largesses from the public treasury. From that moment on, the majority always votes for the candidate promising the most benefits from the public treasury, with the result that the democracy always collapses over loose fiscal policy, always followed by a dictatorship. The average age of the world's greatest civilization has been 200 years. These nations have progressed through this sequence from bondage to spiritual faith, from spiritual faith to great courage, from courage to liberty, from liberty to abundance, from abundance to selfishness, and from selfishness to apathy, from apathy to dependence, and from dependence back to bondage. I don't know about you, but as I read this, I can't help but think about these Israelites living in Egypt with all the wealth and all the goodness that Joseph had provided in such a hospitable environment. But slowly, as another Pharaoh came that no longer cared who Joseph was, he saw people who were living off of Egypt, and he turned them into slaves. Now, slavery then, like we talked about last week, is nothing like slavery we look at in American history. While they were slaves, they still owned land, they still had possessions, they still had cattle and lambs, they had money. It's not like the slavery we saw in America, but instead they had a dictator, a governor, who made them to where they were dependent upon the resources of the country. They caused birth control. They started killing their children, their male children, so they had population control so they could never overtake them. And here's the crazy thing. The government controlled whether they could or could not and when they could go together to worship God. Now, as I look at that, I start thinking about our country right now. And there's no doubt about the fact that we have got comfortable. There's no doubt about the fact that we fought for liberty, and through this, we have definitely come to a place of selfishness and apathy. And it's so important that we never allow ourselves to get to a place to where anyone can dictate when we can go and when we can come in order to worship our God together. And that's what Moses is dealing with. In Genesis chapter 3, Moses has grown up in the house of Pharaoh. They were killing off the children, and Moses' mother saved him and put him in a basket, and she sent him down the Nile. And as she goes down the Nile, God worked it out perfectly so that he would be brought into Pharaoh's house. He grew up watching his people be abused. One day he couldn't take it anymore, and Moses goes out and he attacks the Egyptian who is tormenting the Israelites. He kills him, hides the body, and then the next day he sees two Israelites fighting each other, and he's like, "Why are you fighting each other?" And they're like, "What? Will you kill us like you did the Egyptian?" Moses realizes people are talking about this. He's going to get caught, and he leaves, and he runs away a fugitive, guilty of killing another Egyptian. God takes care of him through the wilderness. He finds a home. He meets a man named Jethro after he's protected their daughters. He gets married, and life seems to be good as he becomes a humble shepherd, and he has children. Genesis chapter 3, one day Moses is out working. In verse 1, it says, Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the far side of the wilderness as he came to Horeb, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. So Moses thought, I will go over and see this strange sight, why the bush does not burn up. When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from in the bush, Moses, Moses. I don't know about you. I grew up in the South, and I've seen a lot of brush fires. I've seen a lot of bonfires. I've seen a lot of bushes burn, but I've never seen one that didn't burn up. And I love that our God is a consuming fire, but he doesn't destroy. And as Moses comes to his presence, I love that God is saying, Moses, Moses. And here's the most beautiful thing, and this is the message I want to get across tonight, because this is going to tie us perfectly into the message for Sunday as God teaches us, and he asks these powerful questions. Here's what I want you to get tonight. Moses hears God. He doesn't know him. He didn't grow up in Sunday school. He didn't grow up hearing about this. He grew up in a pagan culture. And when he hears his name called, Moses doesn't run, he doesn't hide, and he doesn't flee. He says something that every single one of us should learn to say. Here I am. Right now, I can't help but think of Adam and Eve in the garden after they had sinned. When God came, he says, where are you? And they're like, we heard you and we hid because we're naked. God asked the question, who told you you were naked? I wonder right now, church, as I speak to you, Ekklesia, as I speak to you, I'm so proud of you. But is God calling your name? Is there a world of people who are caught up in bondage and slavery? And are there people right now who are suffering and scared, and they're allowing people to tell them when they can and when they cannot come and worship? You, church, the light of the world, the ambassadors of Jesus Christ, if God calls to you, do you hide? Or do you answer in the greatest way possible? Here I am. It's my prayer right now that it's time for the church to start listening, hearing God, and start saying, yes, here we are. You want to hear how God's going to take somebody who's afraid and thinks they're insignificant with guilt and fear and all of the past struggles that are on them and more shame than you can imagine, and lifts them up to the point where he says, I will use you to where you are like me, to where people will see you like me and you will speak like me. If you're that kind of person where you say, I don't know, maybe I'm hiding, maybe I'm ashamed, maybe I'm afraid, maybe I can't, I hope you tune in with us this Sunday. If you're online at 10 a.m. and at 6 p.m., or if you're here at 8:30, 10, or 11:30, because God's going to show you that it doesn't matter what you think you are. If you will simply say, here I am, God is going to show you how to change the world and set people free. Till then, keep changing the world. God bless you guys.